You thought the silence meant it was over. You thought God had forgotten what He promised. But in that quiet space, He was working, rearranging, refining, preparing a reunion that won't look like the past. Listen closely, because this message isn't random. God revealed that the distance between you and that person was never rejection. It was a divine reset, a separation with purpose. He showed me that some of you prayed for clarity, but instead of answers, you got distance. Instead of peace, you got silence. And you started questioning, did I lose them or did I lose God's promise? But the Lord says, no, you didn't lose anything. I was positioning everything. Before we go deeper, I want you to pause for a moment. If this message is already tugging at your spirit, drop a word in the comments. Just one word that describes what you're feeling right now. It might be hope, faith, or even confusion, but let heaven see your faith. Now hear this. The reason the distance hurts so much is because it wasn't ordinary. It was spiritual surgery. God had to separate two hearts so He could heal them individually, because what's broken alone will only multiply brokenness together. This isn't about punishment, it's preparation. And before this video ends, I'll show you the exact sign God gives when He's about to restore what looked lost forever. So don't click away. You need to hear what comes next. Some of you keep replaying old memories, wondering why you can still feel their presence. It's because the connection wasn't emotional, it was covenantal. And even though the distance felt like disconnection, God says, I was building something they couldn't see yet. This is your reminder. Divine timing doesn't follow your clock. It follows your growth. You had to outgrow what hurt you. They had to outgrow what blinded them. And now, heaven says the waiting is nearing its end. Before we continue, if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications. Not for me, but so you don't miss the next word connected to your season. And when this video ends, go to the playlist titled God's Confirmation and Purpose for the Chosen One. It's filled with prophetic messages that connect directly to this moment. Because what God started in distance, He's about to complete in divine reunion. You see, when God separates two people He intends to unite, He isn't canceling the story. He's rewriting it. He's removing everything that once blurred your vision so that when you meet again, you'll recognize each other with spiritual eyes, not emotional desperation. The Lord revealed that during that season of silence, one of you was being tested in faith, while the other was being refined in fire. You both prayed for love, but God wanted you to first understand purpose. Because without purpose, even divine connection turns into confusion. I know you felt like the distance meant they stopped caring, but heaven says, I made them restless so they could find peace only in me. You weren't forgotten. You were being preserved. You were hidden while God was working on their heart. It's like when Joseph was thrown into the pit. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. God says, I need a distance to build destiny. Some of you need to hear this. If the distance hadn't happened, the same cycle would have repeated. You would have gone back into something fragile, built on emotion instead of revelation, but God interrupted it before it destroyed what He promised. You were praying, Lord, bring them back, and God was answering, not yet, not until you see yourself the way I see you, because love without healing is just attachment, and heaven was never after attachment, it was after alignment. That's why the silence felt like a storm, because it was. Every unanswered message, every night you couldn't sleep, every prayer that felt ignored, it was heaven pruning your heart, preparing you for a love that can carry destiny, not just desire. The Lord said, when I bring them back, you won't even recognize them by the flesh. You'll recognize them by the Spirit. So don't fear the silence. Don't regret the waiting, because that was your wilderness. And like Moses, you're about to come out carrying revelation. Tell me in the comments below, have you been feeling that sudden pull toward the one you thought was gone for good? Because if you have, that's not nostalgia. That's spiritual alignment beginning to stir again. And before we go further, if this message has already spoken to your heart, go now and save my playlist, God's Confirmation and Purpose for the Chosen One. Every video there connects like puzzle pieces. It'll help you see how God's been speaking to you all along. But stay here, because in the next part, I'm going to reveal what happens right before divine restoration begins, the hidden sign that proves God is preparing their return. There's a moment heaven always allows before restoration, the moment when everything seems completely quiet, when it feels like the connection has died for good. That's when God is closest to completion. He showed me something in prayer. The silence isn't empty, it's sacred. It's the pause before a divine restart. Some of you are in that exact space right now. The part where you've stopped reaching out, stopped chasing, and started healing. That's not giving up. That's spiritual alignment. Because what's meant for you doesn't respond to panic. It responds to peace. When you finally stopped begging God for answers, that's when heaven started moving. You just couldn't see it. The Lord said, I needed your hands empty so I could place something new in them. You thought you were losing control, but really God was taking control. That person, the one you still think of late at night, they've been going through their own awakening. God allowed distance to expose their distractions. They thought they could move on, but every new connection felt hollow. Every smile faded quickly. Why? Because when something is ordained, everything else feels temporary. That's the hidden sign before divine reunion. The sudden awareness of emptiness in what once seemed satisfying. They start to feel the absence of the one who carried their peace. And you, the chosen one, begin to sense movement in your spirit, like something old is trying to come alive again. It's not coincidence. It's God breathing restoration. Some of you have been seeing reminders, names, dates, sudden dreams that feel too specific to ignore. That's not your imagination. That's heaven whispering, I'm aligning the timing. If this is speaking to you, type alignment in the comments right now. Let's make that your declaration today. Because this is what God revealed. Before He brings them back, He'll first bring clarity. You'll see truth, not fantasy. You'll sense peace instead of pressure. You'll notice maturity where there used to be confusion. These are your signs. And once those signs begin to show, the divine door reopens. Quietly, unexpectedly. But listen carefully. God says, this time it will not return the same way it left. I've changed hearts. I've softened pride. I've purified intentions.
You're on the verge of that moment right now. Before this video ends, I'll share the final revelation, how to recognize when the divine distance is truly over, and how to step into reunion without repeating old pain. Stay until the end, because what's coming next could be the confirmation you've been praying for. This is the moment heaven's been leading you toward. The distance wasn't to destroy, it was to define. God says, now that you've both walked through the fire, I can trust what comes next. What you didn't see while you were waiting was that both hearts were being purified separately. Every tear you cried, every night you questioned why it ended, God was using it to strengthen your discernment. Because when they return, it won't be the same version of them, and you won't be the same version of you. There's something holy about divine timing. When it's right, it won't require convincing. You won't have to chase or question. The peace will speak louder than the pain ever did. The Lord showed me this. When He's about to restore a divine connection, He sends a stillness before the movement. Suddenly, your spirit feels settled. You no longer crave answers, you carry assurance. That's when heaven whispers, "It's time." But hear me, the reunion isn't the reward. The transformation is. God didn't just want to bring two hearts together. He wanted to bring two purposes into alignment. That's why the process felt so long, so lonely, and so painful. It had to be. Otherwise, you'd return to what broke you instead of what built you. Now, God is saying, the distance has done its work. What I've joined in spirit will soon find its way in reality. For some of you, the first sign will be communication. For others, it will be an unexpected peace that confirms you don't have to force anything anymore. And for a few, it will be a divine encounter, a conversation you didn't plan, but heaven did. Whatever the form, know this: when it returns, it will carry fruit, not fear. It will come with clarity, not confusion. If this word has stirred something in your spirit, comment one word below, the word that describes what you feel right now. Maybe it's ready, restored, or aligned. Let that word become your prayer of agreement. And before you leave, subscribe to this channel so you never miss another prophetic message meant for your season. Then go straight to the playlist, God's Confirmation and Purpose for the Chosen One. The next video there will connect to this one. It'll show you how to discern when God is preparing your reunion. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of a divine return. What was once distant is drawing near. And this time, heaven's fingerprints will be all over it.